We're finally back after a lot of time. Finally back working on the Gigapony. Yes, I needed some time to gather some parts, gather a game plan, things like that. So now that I've got a whole slew of parts ready to go, I'm back working on the frame. So I got the frame on the lift. Why is my tractor here? Why are there wheels on here? Okay. I forget what all I said in the last video, but just a quick update, I guess. I got some 40-inch tires on 20s for the rear. I got the plate, the upper mounting plate for the 4-link for the diff on there. All new brakes, pads, rotors, e-brakes, spacer in there like I mentioned on the 3D modeling. So the rear end is basically ready to go. I just got to put new fluid in it. I'll do that once it's actually installed under the frame. 33s on 20s in the front. I got all new front suspension components, lower arms with ball joints, upper arms with ball joints, inner tie rods, outer tie rods, brakes, rotors, brake pads. That's the computer. I did wind up getting a motor and transmission. I forget. Oh, the transmission you guys saw, I believe, but I did wind up getting a motor. It's a 5.3 from a 2000-ish Silverado, something like that. I don't know. Basic 5.3, but it won't be basic for long. And then all the parts for 4-link bracketry and links and everything. So let me show you what we're gonna do over here on the front end. So what I'm gonna do, I don't think I'm gonna do a time lapse of this. The whole front end replaced. Like I said, new lower arms, new upper arms. I got a 6-inch lift kit here, so that's gonna go on. So new spindles, new shocks, tie rods, all that stuff. So everything's getting replaced. I'm gonna do that now. The reason the tractor's here and sitting on the frame is because to get these springs out, you have to jack up the lower arm. And if usually when you do this, there's an entire vehicle on the frame, but obviously there's not right now. So if I was gonna jack this up with nothing over this, it would just lift the whole frame up and it wouldn't compress the spring or anything. So I'm using my tractor to hold down the frame so I can jack up on the lower arm, and we'll see how it works. For right now, let's assume it's gonna work, and if it doesn't, I will report my findings and go from there. Now, after the front end is done and the lift is on it, I can put the front tires on, and the front will basically be ready to go suspension-wise. And then what's next is I get to cut the frame from the bottom all the way almost to the top on both sides, and then I get to rake the frame. And also on the workbench somewhere over here, yep, there's some 8-degree spacers right here that I made. So I'm gonna put these in there, get them welded in, and then I got a bunch more 1/4-inch steel plate. I'm gonna make some brackets that are gonna go on the outside here and on the inside. So it's gonna be a real strong connection. All right, let me get this front end done. I don't think I'm gonna video that, like I said, because literally all it is installing a 6-inch lift kit on a Silverado. And I'm sure there's tons of videos out there in the world. You squatted truck guys should love this because I'm not putting the rear lift on. But it's gonna be custom 4-link rear lift anyways, so whatever. All right, here we go. All right, well, that took longer than expected. I got the front end all done. So you can see here, new control arms, upper and lower, the front brackets or cross members, whatever you want to call it. New brakes, everything. Fresh calipers, or fresh pads in the cleaned up calipers, I should say. I'm not going to be using the wear sensors or speed sensors, whatever. So just zip tied them up there, greased everything. looks pretty good. It took longer than I thought. I'm not gonna do the frame notching and raking tonight, and the rear end is just, the frame is just sitting on the rear end right now just to get the rear end out of the way. But yeah, I'm pretty excited. Actually, with the 6-inch lift in the front and the 7 inches of tire difference, or actually it would be 3.5 radially. The frame actually looks like it sits pretty level with, with the frame right on the rear end. But obviously it's gonna get lifted up here. So next time I will be cutting the frame, and then the frame will be, for the most part, ready to go. And then I can switch to working on the deville. Gotta take the engine out, gotta cut the fenders up, gotta get all the suspension off, gotta get the gas tank off. Gotta do a lot. So looking forward to that. That'll be fun. I didn't want to do all that, while I was waiting for the frame, because I didn't want to get started on that and then get parts for the frame and then just have stuff all over the place. I was just gonna wait. So that's what I did. And yeah, I'm pretty excited. And then once the frame is done and then the body is on the frame, then comes time to play with the motor. So I'm gonna bring the motor over here, tear it apart, redo the wire harness, and we'll talk about that. All right, the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to cut the frame and rake it up. So I'll show you the setup here. Like I said, the front end lift kit is all on. It's sitting on the ground. What I did was I put a level across the frame in multiple places, get it as level this way as I possibly can. And then I put a level on the frame right here, and I think over there too, to get it level this way, because when I cut it and get it to 7 degrees, this front portion has to be level as it was from the factory to preserve the alignment. So you can see that there's actually a space between here. It's not being supported except by the jack stands on the back for now. What I did was, because when I cut it right here, I know I'm not going all the way, but I'm going most of the way. And in order not to chance it, I want to hold this steady and keep it from teeter-tottering. So I attached the frame to the lift arm, so it's being held right here. Then I also have a jack on the front. So this thing shouldn't move at all this way or this way, really. So the plan is measure 7 times and cut once. I'm gonna draw a line right here on the bottom, across the top, back on the inside, same on there. I'm gonna match it up, and then again cut 1, 2, 3 sides, and then I've got my little support arm right there ready to go. I'm gonna lift this up the 7 degrees that I need, and then I've got my 7-degree spacers here. One of them broke, but that's fine. It's gonna all get welded anyways, so that'll go in there 7 degrees or 8 degrees, 7.8, whatever. And then make some plates to strengthen it. And then the frame itself, I think, will be ready. And then there's some little things. So like one of the things I want to do is, at least on the front, get the brakes ready. So you got front left brake, front right brake. I need to tie these in together to a single connection, so that's ready to go to the brake master cylinder in the future. I'd rather do it now while there's nothing in the way. I wanna cut these pieces off right here, so I'm gonna go around them like this, and just so I'm left with an open piece of frame that I can just attach whatever to. I think those are the major things. I was gonna get rid of these motor mounts. They're welded on, but you're not really gonna see them, so I'll probably just leave them on. Too much work to be worth it. Okay, whew, let's get to work. Okay, that actually went relatively painless. Let me show you what I got here. All right, so we're at about 8 degrees of rake. I know the lift is in the way, it's hard to see, but remember how the frame used to be like within an inch of that pad. Now it's about a foot off that pad. So that's gonna be the rake. And remember, it's on the ground here too. So this is basically gonna be final height minus the weight of everything on top of it, squishing it down a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lower the rear end. I'm gonna detach these straps right here because it's all tacked on the outside, on the inside, on both sides. So I'm gonna get rid of these straps, lower the frame down. So this is gonna tilt back now. And then I'm gonna put some weight on the rear. Then I'm gonna lift the thing up and weld it all the way around and make some plates. All right, let's go. All right, so we're fully welded all the way around on both sides. Now to make some plates. I don't think I'm really gonna have to make some super huge plates, but I will do, you know, one on the outside, one on the inside, on each side. So probably tie into this piece, this mount right here, and then tie into this piece right here. Just weld a rectangular shaped piece across. And then on the inside, I don't have this raised section as close, so I think I'll just put a piece over it and kind of bend it a little bit like that, and then weld it to the frame and everything. All right, let's get to cutting. So we're done. Plate on the outside, plate on the inside, inside, outside, got them painted. Turned out really well. I think it's gonna work out pretty good. Done for the night, done for this video. Finally got the front lift on, finally got the rake in it. Next is, again, setting it back to where this is perpendicular to, or parallel to the ground, and getting the height of the rear and taking some measurements and verifying that 3D model that I have, so that way I can fine tune the 4-link brackets and link positions and lengths and all that stuff. So that's what I'm gonna do. Maybe tonight, maybe get it level, start up the computer and see what I can do. But yeah, so that'll be the end of this video. I know it was a while between this video and the last one, but it is what it is. Thanks for watching. See you guys later. It's coming along.